Joining us now is Okpe, which story is trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. How are you this morning?
I'm good.
Excellent.
After you people cracking me up before.
It's Rufai. Good morning. I have to confess, it's not me.
You.
I have
no
nothing
joke
to do with
before I go on there.
It wasn't me.
Some of our behind the scenes conversations could come on the morning.
Good morning, Ayo. How are you this morning?
Very well.
Rufai.
It was not here. We're just talking about right of pensioners in the country.
No,
and welfare of pensioners.
You know that.
And now we should ensure that pensioners are properly treated.
You know that's not true. You are getting a wife this weekend. That's the conversation. Well, all right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United States, President Joe Biden on Tuesday honored Emmett Till, the black teenager whose killing helped galvanize the civil rights movement, and his mother with a national monument spanning 2 states and a call for Americans to learn the country's full history. Emmett Till was 14 years old when he was beaten, shot, and mutilated by 2 white men in Money, Mississippi on August 28, 1955. The violent killing put a spotlight on the U.S. civil rights cause after his mother held an open casket funeral and a photo of her son's badly disfigured body appeared in black media.
We can't just choose to learn what we want to know. We have to learn what we should know. We should know about our country. We should know everything, the good, the bad, the truth of who we are as a nation.
Under sports, NBA players showed support on Tuesday for LeBron James's 18-year-old son, Bronny James, who suffered a cardiac arrest while training at the University of Southern California on Monday, July 24th. The 6'3" combo guard, who is the 5th-ranked player at his position, was hospitalized after the incident and is now in stable condition. Bronny is the oldest son of James's 3 children. He announced in May that he would play college basketball for the Trojans. LeBron James, NBA's all-time leading scorer, has said he'd like to play at least 1 season in the NBA with his son. Then, organizers of the Confederation of African Football announced on Tuesday that the 2023 edition of its annual awards ceremony will be held on December 11th in Morocco. The awards will recognize standout performers for club and country over the past year, with the highlight being the crowning of the CAF African Player of the Year in both the men's and women's categories. Sadio Mane currently holds the Men's Player of the Year title, while Super Falcons forward Asisat Oshuola holds the Women's Player of the Year gong. Under entertainment, the Venice International Film Festival unveiled on Tuesday a lineup of movies that will make their world debut at the 80th edition of the festival. Bradley Cooper's drama, Maestro, Priscilla by Sofia Coppola, and Ava DuVernay's Origin are among the movies that made the lineup. The prestigious film festival will run from August 30th through September 9th, 2023. Finally, engagement photos of Joy Bishara, one of the schoolgirls who escaped after Boko Haram invaded government secondary school, Chibok, in Borno State, on April 14, 2014, flooded social media on Tuesday. The Boko Haram kidnapping gained global attention with the hashtag #BringBackOurGirls, igniting a campaign for the release of the girls still held in captivity. Joy was one of the 57 girls out of the 276 kidnapped. She relocated to the United States, where she graduated from the Southeastern University and obtained a degree in social work in 2021.
I felt great because I remember being told that I will not even be able to finish high school, that I'm very dumb and I won't be able to get there. And all those harsh words at the time tore me down and made me so discouraged. But I didn't give up.
Congratulations. I mean, what do we say? Faith and destiny. What do you say about those two?
Beautiful story. I'm really glad. I think she's such a symbol of
Yes.
hope to the other girls who've escaped. Yes, some of them at different times. She escaped the night of the abductions.
Yes.
57 out of them escaped, and she's one of those girls who've gone on because that night must have been traumatic. April 2014.
April 14th. I'll never forget that.
It must have been traumatic for
Yes.
them, but I'm so glad that she's going to build up her life and even do more than was expected
Yes.
of her. Now she's getting married. 9 years afterwards, she should be about, say, 18, if she was 16, 25 years old, or 26 or 27. So brilliant.
Yes.
Congratulations to her and her family, and I hope other girls as well
Yeah.
would have the opportunity to live a second
Absolutely,
chance.
and this is a call for the remaining girls. I know there are still a few left
Yes.
in captivity at this moment for the security forces to get out. Bring back our girls. Well, let's continue on what's trending. With reactions trailing the breakdown of law and order, which occurred at the Federal High Court in Ikoyi on Tuesday, following the rearrest of the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, by the Department of State Services, despite being granted a 20 million naira bail. The presiding judge, Nicholas Oweibo, ruled that the embattled CBN governor be remanded at the correctional center pending the fulfillment of his bail conditions, but operatives of the secret police insisted on taking Emefiele into their custody, which ultimately led to an all-out brawl between heavily armed DSS operatives and officials of the Nigerian Correctional Service.
This is what the DSS has turned Nigeria into.
Of the Nigerian Correctional Service being humiliated. He's being humiliated. His uniform, he's being manhandled.
Many reactions have trailed this story. Let me take one from Daniel Boala, who wrote, This happened today. In the Federal Republic of Nigeria, actually, this happened yesterday. Anybody who wears the uniform symbolizes the authority of the Republic and walks in the name of the President, who is the head of the Republic. Those who assault law enforcement are liable to prosecution by our law. Alas, this was done to him by his comrades in the law enforcement platform, allegedly while he was carrying out a lawful order. What a sad day. Well, in the meantime, George Emefiele, brother to the suspended governor of the Central Bank, who attended the hearing and witnessed the brawl, called it a complete disgrace.
It is disheartening that we have a government that came in through democratic process. We have a government that believes in democracy. We have a government that understands the rule of law. I remember vividly well when DSS invaded EFCC office. It took less than 12 hours for the president to give order that DSS should vacate the EFCC office. Why can't he do the same here? I remember very well when I was in secondary school, the Nadeko period. I knew how the current president fought the military through Nadeko. He fought tooth and nail. He fought the military, telling the military to obey the rules and regulations of the law, the constitutional law. Here we are today. 3 courts have said release him on bail. He's not running away, for God's sake. And you can imagine a situation where 2 federal government military apparatus are fighting themselves, manhandling the commander of the prison commission. It is a disgrace to this nation. It is a complete disgrace. Complete disgrace. How else are we going to describe this? What is the fate of the poor man if this is happening today to somebody that served a nation for 9 good years? My brother is not going to run away. He served this nation for 9 good years. And is this the way you are going to treat somebody that served a nation for 9 good years? To pay him back in this way? This is not fair. We are all Nigerians.
Well, let me take another tweet. This is from Inibehe Effiong. He wrote, The SSS has recorded yet another point in its long list of infamy and impunity. The show of shame at the Federal High Court in Lagos is a vindication of those of us who have said time and time again that this so-called law enforcement agency is nothing but a political and partisan tool in the hands of every occupant of Asari Rock. It is very disgusting to see the crude desecration of the Federal High Court in Lagos by the SSS. The court ordered that Emefiele should be remanded in the correctional center, but the reckless and lawless SSS, in its usual character, went after Emefiele in flagrant violation of the order of the court. Such despicable sight should not be tolerated in a constitutional democracy. Mr. Tinubu retained Mr. Bichi as the DG of SSS because Bichi is ever willing to deploy the agency to witch hunt Tinubu's perceived political foes. When Godwin Emefiele was suspended as the CBN Governor, many Nigerians wrongly assumed that his suspension was aimed at holding him accountable for his terrible monetary policies and any infraction he may have committed under the corrupt Buhari regime. However, all that the government has been able to come up with so far are two ridiculous and dubious charges of illegal possession of firearms, while Asari Dokubo, who has publicly displayed assault rifle, is busy raising a private army and walking freely. The SSS shamelessly went after Emefiele over possession of primitive guns. Tinubu must accept responsibility for the invasion of the court. The judiciary is now at the mercy of a lawless agency of executive arm of government. I call on the judiciary to rise up and defend its integrity and independence. Well, a member of Lawyers in Defense of Democracy, Okere Kingdom, asked the federal government to apologize to Emefiele for labeling him a terrorist and called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to remove the DG of DSS, Yusuf Bichi, for being incompetent.
You labeled him a terrorist, then he must apologize. Then we ask, whether you are charging him for possession of firearms when Dokubo, Asari Dokubo, is displaying his AK-47. Have you arrested Asari Dokubo? Recruiting militants, threatening to kill the entire Southeast people. You have not arrested him because he's doing your own bidding. Now you are coming to arrest Emefiele for possessing firearms. What about the bandits in the bush, in Sambisa? What about the bandits along Kaduna, Abuja-Kaduna Road? How many of them have they arrested? The bandits that are parading AK-47, how many of them have they arraigned for possessing AK-47? They don't know where the bandits are. If they don't know where the bandits are, don't they know the man who goes to visit the bandits and come out? Don't they know him? He goes to visit the bandits in the bush and come out. How many of those bandits in the bush that have AK-47 has the DSS arraigned? How many? Because Emefiele is from the southeast, or because he's from the south that bears Igbo name. We must prosecute them. We must suppress them. In a country, you say we are united and our unity is in our diversity. You just talk, you don't walk the talk. In this country, rule of law must be entrenched. That is why we are here. He must apologize to Emefiele. DSS is not the law. They are established by a piece of legislation. This is a country that runs on law, on rule of law. The constitution is our ground norm. That is what we are saying. The constitution has stipulated that there are three arms of government: executive, legislature, and judiciary. That is why we are crying out. Rule of law must be entrenched. That is the issue. It's not about Yusuf Magaji. He cannot give an order from his office to counter the court. He doesn't have that power. He doesn't. No matter the rifle he's playing parade, Magaji Yusuf, the DG of DSS, does not have the power to counter court order. He doesn't have the power. That's what we are saying. He's not established by himself. He's established by a piece of legislation. A piece of legislation that is not more than the constitution. That is what we are crying out for. To not sack this man. This man will give your government a bad image. This man will give your government a bad reputation. He has started with lawlessness, impunity. Look at the way they manhandled the officer of the Nigerian Correctional Service. Is that what we should expect in this country? We will continue to talk. Tinubu, you have started on the wrong note. The man you have left as DSS Director General is bringing disorderliness in the judicial system. He's desecrating the institution. Remove him, he's incompetent.
Let me take one more. I know Kingdom was here earlier this morning. I'll take a final tweet from Kalu, who wrote, Emefiele brought this all on himself. Don't blame politicians for wasteful spending.
It's their default setting. Emefiele, however, was protected by law, but he not only broke the law that protected him, he actually ran for office. Yes, he has been dumped, but he gambled the office of the central bank governor for political favor and lost. Today, he's dressed like a priest with a holy book, a teachable moment, not to mock, but to learn. There are many Emefiles locking, waiting, seeking who to devour for vainglory. God help us all not to be too tempted. P.S. Don't get me wrong, this trial is a farce. Their objective is to run out the 10 o'clock on Emefiele because legally the president can't remove and replace him before his term is up. The DSS can only do this because to the international financial community, Emefiele is not an independent central bank governor, but a politically exposed person. If Emefiele remained within the confines of the CBN Act and got arrested, Nigeria would have been blacklisted from the credit markets. Fine.
I mean, a lot to say as regards this, and Kalu has also put in a dimension to this as regards the political dimension. And I think we have also said many things hitherto as regards, and I think out here when that issue was brought forward as regards running for president, you know, my condemnation was clear, my position was clear as regards that, because monetary policy is something else, presidency is something else. And, you know, even despite the fact that some people try to put a lot of argument forward, I took a very strong stand on that matter. But what we're talking about here is the rule of law.
Absolutely.
The fact that the rule of law is constantly desecrated in the country. And Emefiele is not the first issue. There's another one already pending, the case of Bawa, that nobody has said anything about. So we have cases like this, that the DSS flagrantly breaks, you know, the rule of law. A judge has ruled something, they go contrary, and we see all the commotion, the tussle, the calisthenics, call it whatever name. But the question we keep saying is, and this is to President Tinubu, you fought for democracy in this country. You mobilized. Abacha was the tyrannical dictator then. Why can't we allow the rule of law have a foothold in our country? Why will the DSS be above the laws of the same land you fought for? What the DSS is doing at this point in time, please, can you point out to me how it's different from the flagrant disrespect for the rule of law General Sani Abacha did in his time?
Absolutely. Dr. Abati, Kingdom has called for the replacement of DSS DG. We saw Emefiele's brother there saying that Emefiele has served this country for 9 years, and this is how they treat him. If he was a poor man, an ordinary man, he wonders what would be happening to him under DSS custody.
Okay, I thought it was David Livingstone who said that the rule of law and the independence of the judiciary are both the cornerstones of our democracy. So these are the two major issues signposted by this incident: the rule of law and the independence of the judiciary are the heart of democracy. And that is why I think it's instructive that the president of the Nigerian Bar Association has issued a statement saying that, look, the Nigerian Bar Association is for the rule of law. And what happened at the court premises yesterday will amount to a recipe for anarchy and chaos. Absolutely. And I think that, you know, Kingdom Okere, who was on this program earlier on, is also right. As we too have all agreed before now, that the buck stops at the desk of President Tinubu. Absolutely. After all, he took an oath of office, oath of allegiance. He committed to the rule of law. When he's campaigning, he told us, hello for Kambale. The hello for Kambale, yes, the hello for Kambale that he told us is that he will restore hope. What he's doing now is like returning us to the past. Under President Buhari, that was when this was common. This is not new.
Yes.
The DSS will arrest people, they will take them to court, they will arraign them, and then right in the court premises, they will rearrest them again. So it's after a pattern. So where is the hope of the common man in the judiciary that the Tinubu administration is restoring? I mean, what's his name? Kingdom Okere is not in a position to dictate to the president of Nigeria who to hire or fire, saying you should sack Bichi and all that. That's beyond them. That's overzealous. But the president has a responsibility to ensure that agencies of state do not misbehave and violate the rule of law. You cannot say the order of a magistrate court is superior to that of a high court. And they kept saying in the reports that order from above, who is that character? Who gave that order from above?
Dr. Bati, all we call
and then the CBN governor is being charged for possession of firearms and all that.
Absolutely.
If you recall, it was the same thing they did to former National Security Advisor, Colonel Sambu Dasuki.
Yes.
Everybody was talking about Dasuki money, security money, and all that. The only thing he was ever charged for was for illegal possession of firearms. Nobody knows what it is.
Absolutely.
Exactly that happened.
All right, Dr. Abati, we have to take the story because it relates to our story. We'll take our final story. Former militant leader Asari Dokubo has made headlines again. This time, he won the governor of Rivers State, Sim Fubara, in a video that has now gone viral, to stay clear of his business. Otherwise, he will be dealt with. Dokubo was reacting to claims that the governor has given marching orders to the Nigerian military in the state to clamp down on his newly inaugurated militia.
Put on well, made them fear, made them hear. Same, in the when Nnamdi Kanu put 100 million bounty for in Oga head is a poor one here, so we can head. That I know get mouth to talk. We have the capacity to turn Rivers upside down. But we did not do it. They rig election, it's in government house. The person where they beat that drum with her, making the wood where they beat drum, the stick where they can't beat drum. Sometimes they break. We don't look for in trouble or making himself we don't look for our trouble because if we look for our trouble, he go. If he look for our trouble, he go do what? Under the constitution of Nigeria, whether he be governor or he be anything, we equal to him. He no be anybody. He's just an ordinary citizen like Dokbo Asari.
All right. Ayo, what have we become? This is the second time we're taking Asari Dokubo's story this week alone. He's there threatening a governor.
This is evidence. The DSS should be on his
Absolutely.
case. They also have brought him in for questioning instead of targeting other Nigerians who have been charged for frivolous, in some cases, has been explained, charges. It's important that we understand that this is a keg of gunpowder.
Absolutely.
This is a terrorist organization brewing. We have to nip it in the bud.
The video is out there. Yes.
Asari calls himself Dr. Asari.
Yeah.
I don't know where he got his PhD from. All kinds of people call themselves doctor. But he was quoting the Constitution. He's quoting the Constitution wrongly. Dr. Asari, as he calls himself, is not equal to the governor of Rivers State. For example, the governor of Rivers State has immunity under Section 308 of the Constitution and is governor of the state. Does Dr. Asari, as he calls himself, does he have immunity under the Constitution? That's one slight difference that I think we should point out to educate people who may be speaking out of ignorance.
Absolutely. Fine. The video is out there. They have not gone after
non-state actors and
non-state
ex-militants like this will not have the chance if only our government is responsive and stops things like this.
Absolutely.
But you see, the DSS will never see this one. And that's why it's enjoying its turn. Turn by turn. Turn by turn.
I beg you, make him
for your turn. This one, Asari turn.
Well, all right. I'd like to thank you all for your great analysis on what's trending today.
Go chop water.
Well, that's all I have for you on what's trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.